Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Been quite a week. We qualified. Went down to Baton Rouge and did our stuff and good to go. Had quite a big surprise. There is another Republican running in the race. Dan, what was his name? Dan something.
Yeah, nobody
Ben.
knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's a Republican, but he's not really revealed himself. So
Yeah.
Who is Dan? Let me see
Is it Dan or Ben? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But either way, that's great news for us. Obviously, there's some Republicans not happy with Johnson. As we found out in 18, there were literally thousands of Republicans that voted for us. And a lot of them that just didn't vote at all. This time, it's going to split the vote. There's enough people that don't like Johnson that'll vote for anybody that's Republican. So that's going to be very interesting.
The video keeps freezing up, is what someone said.
Oh,
Well, is it working now?
I don't know. It's not freezing up from this end, it's freezing up for the other people.
Well, keep going then. Let's rock.
okay. Somebody said videos were freezing up. And
It looks good here. So
welcome to technology. Fun stuff. In other news, some of you do know, some of you didn't know, my daughter got COVID-19 2 weeks ago. Very, very sick. 19 years old, as healthy as can be. This is not the flu. She went to the hospital. Not so much, didn't have to get on the intubator or the ventilator. Just had to get fluids and have to be watched over for a little bit to make sure it wouldn't get any worse. But very, very scary stuff. You can do that to a healthy 19-year-old. Imagine what it can do to the rest of us. Fortunately, I tested negative. We dodged that bullet. Wear your masks, social distance. Be careful. This isn't a joke. I've had 2 co-workers and a cousin die from it already. And you don't want to have the same stories. Now, what else we got? AOC. Wow. I don't know if y'all heard about the Congressman Yoo-hoo. What's
Yo-ho.
it?
I think
Yo-ho?
I've never heard of him before.
Yeah, I
He
don't
made
know.
a name for himself this week.
I think he's from Minnesota or something. Well, Miss Cortez was walking into, Congresswoman Cortez, Sonia Cortez, was walking into the building, the congressional building. Another congressman yelled a bunch of names at her and accosted her right out there in the public, which, I mean, it's just rude for anybody, but congressmen, they should be thrown out right away. I wouldn't even stand for that for a second. If that was my daughter, somebody talked to her like that, I can tell you they wouldn't be talking anymore. At least not without a lisp. That's a mindset that we have to break through in D.C. It's a bunch of rich lawyers thinking, rich male white lawyers thinking they control the whole thing, and when somebody that had to work their way up, maybe their parents weren't wealthy, maybe they had to do part-time jobs in college, or maybe they didn't even go to college, they just care about people, get to Congress, they are treated horribly. that's the mindset that we're breaking right now. I mean, it's time to stop electing rich lawyers to represent all of us. You know, we're not all rich lawyers. All they do is write laws that help other rich people, like our stimulus checks. For every person in America, stimulus cost us what, about $33,000. But we only got $1,200. The rest of it, you know, the top 1%, all of them gained billions of dollars, got billions of dollars richer. Meanwhile, you know, regular working people rent for the past 3 months. There was a whoop. I only got a phone call. I'm gonna put mine on silent too. Yeah, so there was a freeze on evictions, right, for the past 3-4 months. Unlike most countries, you know, most other modern countries put a freeze on mortgage and rent payments. That everybody still owes their mortgage, everybody still owes their rent, even though they are shut down without a job, you know. But the eviction freeze ends today or yesterday.
Ryan,
Yeah.
you might as well pause.
Uh-oh. Alright, are we back? There we go again. Yeah. Let's see, what were we talking about? Evictions, nobody's got jobs. This could be a huge national catastrophe. It's something that Congress needs to move on immediately. Of course, they just took a 2-week vacation. Meanwhile, most people, a heck of a lot of us, can't pay their bills. Just criminal. These people aren't representing us. That's probably why they only have a 12% approval rating. All right, more people would rather step on Legos barefoot than you know, go to Congress. People prefer ice cream headaches to congressmen. Yeah. Quit voting them back in. And that's for everybody. We got people all over the country watching this. Quit voting these people back in. Whether they're Democrat, Republican, if they only serve corporate interests and billionaires, vote them out. If nobody's running, you run. We out again?
Yeah, we're on.
We're on?
You have
6
Okay.
people watching.
Do you have any audio?
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
Sorry.
So what
Thought
are
we were having technical difficulties again. What were you saying?
So what are we gonna do if this evictions? Mitch McConnell's talking about it will be weeks before you can get any more aid to American citizens. What's next?
Right. Well, yeah, Mitch McConnell's saying that it'll be weeks. That's up to him. There's nothing that says it's got to take weeks. They could send us checks tomorrow. They could freeze rent and mortgage and evictions tomorrow if they wanted to. It's a political problem. It's not any other problem, you know, other than that. Just like poverty. Poverty is a political problem. We could solve it right away with the guaranteed jobs, repairing our failing infrastructure, having a national conservation corps again, building up renewable energy, and cleaning up the mess that the oil and gas industry made. And that's enough work for everybody for a long time. They just don't want to. Remember that when it comes for election.
Okay, so Ron, hey Ron.
Hey Ron.
Ron sends a question in. He says, talk for a minute or two about why you're doing this, why you're running again. That was a lot of work last time, and it's even more work now.
Yeah.
So you're back and badder than ever, in my opinion. But why are you taking another swing at this?
Right. Well, It's a good question. I mean, it is tough. It is a lot of work and a lot of money, and it took me 2 years to get back on my feet again. But that's how important it is, you know? I mean, 2 years ago, we had 68% people living paycheck to paycheck. We had almost 30% poverty rate. 2 years go by, now 2020, 80% of people living paycheck to paycheck, 40% or more poverty level, and millions and millions unemployed. And meanwhile, our congressman, who's supposed to be representing us, took a year off to be a lawyer for Trump and all his battles. That's not what we elected him for. He's got his own lawyers. Your representative is supposed to be a check and balance for the executive branch, not their little cheerleader and yes man. Yeah, I just can't put up with it, and somebody's got to do it, and here I am.
Ron's wife Cheryl asks.
Hey, Cheryl.
she says, "What are you going to do? What's your first order of business when you get to Washington? I know you're going to want to find out where your office is in the bathroom, but right after that, what's your next order of business in the business of the people?"
Right. I think number one thing that'll help everybody is raising the minimum wage up to at least $15 an hour and tying it to inflation. So every year it goes up with inflation. You know, it hasn't gone up in 20 years? Almost 20 years.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, everything else gets more expensive. Rent's more expensive. Food's more expensive. The thing is, yeah, everything's more expensive. But you know, they've done studies since 1938 when they first started it. Every time they raise the minimum wage, everybody's wages increases. More businesses make money. You get more tax benefits. It's good for everybody. And you know, the average person, there's a big misconception about who gets minimum wage. Say, oh, it's just a bunch of kids, or it's you know, whatever they say. That in reality, the average minimum wage worker is 36 years old and white, and a lot of times a mother with children, and most of them have to work 2 and 3 jobs. Second thing we have to do is get money out of politics, to get corporate and wealthy people to stop buying politicians, because that's all they do is buy politicians and have them write laws for them, and nobody's in Congress working for the working people. You know, we gotta have representation too. You know, it's time to stop buying politicians.
Hey, so this one bugs me, drives me crazy. NEPA, Trump rolled back by executive order the NEPA Act, which is environmental protection laws, basically, and it's our National Environmental Policy Act, and it's gone, basically. It's rolled back to pre-1954 era levels. So, you know, that's strong, man.
Yeah,
that's so scary. That we can build more infrastructure that we can't afford to keep up, and so that we can get a lot of big industries that pollute cleared.
Right. And that's even worse, being from Louisiana, where we have Cancer Alley, you know, a strip 100 miles long where they just spew pollutants into the air and water, and everybody's dying of pollution. And of course we have it here around Calumet. There's a cancer circle. It mostly affects minorities, low-income neighborhoods, And that's the way it's designed, and they know it, and they know that they can't fight back. So that's how it goes. I mean, racial justice is an environmental issue too, and we've got to fight it on all levels.
Ryan, a lot of your followers on your page respond to marijuana legalization
Mm-hmm.
and exoneration of low-level offenders.
Right?
What can you do when you get to Washington to speed up that process? How do you imagine that could work?
Well, we have to make it federally legal, decriminalized, of course, and we have to expunge all the people that are in jail already for nonviolent crimes with marijuana, and it's in the tens of thousands of years of people using it, 10,000 at least, nobody's ever died from it. It cures glaucoma and cancer and helps with PTSD and Parkinson's, and there's just no call for it. And as y'all might have seen, former police officer Don came on and talked with us, and the police department is so bogged down with drug arrests that it's ridiculous. It takes almost a whole shift just to do the paperwork for a drug arrest. Meanwhile, people are getting robbed, people are getting raped, people are getting murdered, when the police could be doing something else that is a national health issue, not a police issue. As a kid telling me December, he went to sell his PlayStation online to get money for his parents for Christmas presents. Got scammed. He showed up and they took it and robbed him and didn't give him any money. I went to the police station and they said they're not going to do anything about it. They're not ever catch him, and they got more things to do. What good are they if they're not going to help people like that? There's more things that we can do and better ways to do it.
Yeah, and a shout out to retired Lieutenant Shreveport Police Officer Don Galt. I just saw today he announced he's running for City Marshal in Shreveport. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's
Hey.
even more involved than ever. So good on Don Galt. He's a fine man.
Running for City Marshal in Shreveport.
Yeah.
I'll definitely vote for you, and I'm sure everybody watching might too.
Yeah, I'm so excited. He's just a fine man. I can't believe what a great guy he is, and the kind of officer you hope you find on the street. So wrapping up, as we're getting close to time to go get something to eat after a long day, what's coming up this week? I know you're starting to do fundraisers online.
Yeah,
and could people send an email in to participate in that? And what else is coming up?
we're doing these little social distancing Zoom meeting fundraisers. It's like a house party, but everybody's in their own house. But they're kind of fun, and we have a good time and sit and chat, and just a few of us hanging out. So if you want to do that, you want to get your friends in, and we'll set it all up and have a little Zoom meeting. Just send us an email, Ryan@RyanTrundle.com or info@RyanTrundle.com. And next week, next Thursday, it's the 30th, right?
Right.
We're going to have activist, humanitarian, awesome person, international superstar, AJ Haynes on.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that.
On our little 6 feet apart. Serotones. Just an awesome person. They toured the whole world.
Yeah.
With
They're a big deal.
Serotones.
Are we going to get any
Yeah.
music by any chance?
No, probably not. We're just going to talk. We're not going to make it. We're not going to ask you to play.
Well, fantastic. I'm stoked to hang out with her. So
Yeah.
I've seen her around town, but I've never gotten to actually
Oh, yeah. Well,
visit with her.
there's a relatively new album out. If you go to the Serotones webpage, You can download it or buy it, and they'll send you one. And give it a listen. Good stuff.
So tomorrow morning, if I was looking at your calendar right, you're going to be down at the farmers market.
Oh yeah, farmers market with Allendale Strong.
What time are you getting there?
As soon as I can after the fundraiser. All depends on how long that goes.
Maybe that'll run on for hours.
Yeah, maybe 11, 12. We'll definitely be there around noon.
Yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Yeah, Allendale Strong. If y'all don't know, they're trying to build a highway right through a neighborhood, right over tops of people's brand new houses. Well, and tear down a lot of stuff too, and wreck the neighborhood and split it in two, and all for. And I looked at this on Google Maps. It would save 5 minutes driving time to do that.
Yeah, maybe.
Instead of going all the way, maybe 5 minutes.
And then $1 billion.
$1 billion? Is that?
When do you think you can drive on it? When will it be complete? If everything goes well, what year?
Everything goes perfectly?
Yeah. If they just start mowing houses down, everybody gives up and says, okay.
Yeah.
And they mow the houses down, build the highway. What year do you think
What
you'll get
year?
to drive on it, and how old will you be?
I don't know. Will I still be alive?
I hope so. I think my kids will have taken the car keys from me, because Kent Rogers, who's head of the Northwest Louisiana Council of Governments, says to me every time I've asked him if everything went great and it got the funding and it got the okay from the feds and the state next year, we could drive on it as early as 2038 AD.
2038. 18 years.
I'll celebrate my 80th birthday on that highway.
And it's going to cost $1 billion?
Yeah, $1 billion
$1
is the
billion.
current estimate.
Of course, it always is twice as much.
It's gonna keep going. And what kind of car or will you be flying
Right.
over that? Like
We
the
might not
Jetsons?
even have cars in it.
Yeah, it just seems preposterous. But they
Right.
want to mow down all this awesomeness that's been happening in Allendale for a few years.
Including the co-op. Allendale Co-op.
Yeah, the
they wanna
Allendale
mow that
Co-op
down.
would be right under the overpass where I'm assuming all the people that got evicted this
Yeah.
year will be living under the highway overpass
Right.
with their
Well,
insurance.
maybe that's
Because
the plan.
that's about what they're best at. But,
Yeah.
But anyway, why don't you wrap us out and let's go
Alrighty.
get some burgers.
Well, thank y'all. Thursday, the 30th, AJ Haynes. So excited, can't wait. Yeah, go to RyanTrundle.com if you haven't yet. Donate, read about us, tell your friends, and we'll see you later. Thank you.